Joining us this morning, Tennessee Governor Bill Lee. Governor, as bad as this was, you must be breathing something of a sigh of relief this morning that nobody aside from the bomber was killed and that there was no huge loss of life or that this thing wasn't even worse than it is.
Thank you, John. Yeah, it's devastating when you walk the street down there and see what's happened. We are very grateful. Number one, for those law enforcement that you just saw, the incredible work. In a day when law enforcement need encouragement, they have given us encouragement by saving countless lives down there. But livelihoods have been lost significantly in our city. Small business owners have had a very difficult year to start with. When you see the damage down there, you see, I see business owners with a new struggle, but we are starting today. We're beginning to determine ways that we're going to rebuild.
We will talk about the economic impact in a moment, but first, you mentioned those heroic police officers, and I want to just put their names up on the screen because Americans really need to remember and recognize them. Brenna Hosey, Tyler Llewellyn, Michael Sipos, Amanda Topping, James Wells, and Timothy Miller. And here is just a little bit more of that extraordinary news conference with some of them. Listen.
I just see orange, and then I hear a loud boom, and as I'm stumbling, because it rocked me that hard, I started stumbling. I just tell myself to stay on your feet, stay alive.
I don't know how I kept my footing, but I kind of blanked and I couldn't see him for a second, and I just lost it.
What I specifically remember, and we found out later, what I remembered was downtown where the lights shine bright. Later, the ATF agent I spoke to pulled it up, and it's downtown by Petulia Clark.
This is going to tie us together forever, for the rest of life. And so just, the love for them is even bigger now.
The love for them is even bigger now. I think all of Nashville, all of America probably is saying that very same thing this morning, Governor.
That's right. Christmas morning, Christmas is really a hopeful time in the midst of circumstances, and as tragic and devastating as this is, what those men and women did, they saved lives, and we lost no life other than the perpetrator in the midst of this. It's a blessing that occurred in the middle of a tragedy, and we're really grateful for law enforcement. We always are, but when something like this happens, we're even more mindful than ever of the incredible role they play to protect citizens here in Tennessee.
Yeah, Christmas is a day when most people do not want to find themselves working on the job, and it's just a reminder that every single day the men and women in blue go to the job and do not know what they're going to be facing. These 6 easily could have been killed that morning, and instead they saved lives.
That's right. When they talk about putting their lives on the line, that's exactly what they did that morning. They ran into that situation and saved so many lives. We're so grateful for them.
You spoke about the economic impact, and I know you've written the White House asking President Trump for federal emergency money, a declaration for the Nashville area. What do you think this is going to cost, and have you received a response yet from the White House?
Well, the damage is enormous. It was an indescribable blast, and it's destroyed businesses all up and down that downtown block. We've had, as I said before, we've had a really hard year, as everyone has across this country, especially small business owners have been hit hard. We've worked really hard to keep businesses open and to keep them able to operate, and now there's a whole group of them who will not be able to operate for some time. So we have requested an emergency declaration. I actually spoke with the president myself yesterday. It appears that will be coming shortly, and we'll have some assistance to help begin this rebuilding process. So we're very grateful to President Trump for his response to that request.
Everybody is asking why. Has anyone from law enforcement spoken to you about the possible motive here?
They're still searching for that motive. We have been fortunate, we believe, that there's no one else involved. We have determined that, at least so far. Nashville's a very safe city and has a history of being such. So to have this sort of thing happen in our city is very unusual. Fortunately, it appears it's not attached to other folks and there is no further danger. So, but the individual motive of this person is yet to be determined. Very unusual circumstances, particularly because there was a warning to try to keep people from being hurt. So we'll just wait and see what they find.
It's one of my favorite cities to visit, and we wish you well as Nashville recovers. Governor Bill Lee, we appreciate your time this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, John.